Something has shifted. You can feel it, can't you? That subtle tightening in your chest the moment you clicked on this video. That quiet shiver that isn't fear, but recognition. Your body knew before your mind did. This isn't a coincidence. This isn't random scrolling. This is resonance. Your nervous system is responding to a frequency your logical brain hasn't yet caught up to. That's why you're here, not for empty motivation, not for filler words, not to be told to smash a button or chase validation. You're here because something deep within you already knows. A massive shift is unfolding in your life, and you're standing right at the edge of it. The question isn't whether it's happening, it already is. The real question is, will you resist it, or will you surrender and move with it? Right now, in this very moment, your life is reordering itself around a brand new set of priorities. The version of you who pressed play isn't the same one who will close this window. Change doesn't announce itself with thunder or fireworks. It sneaks in disguised as restlessness. Think back. Haven't you felt it building for weeks? Maybe even months? That constant hum of dissatisfaction you couldn't explain. The quiet awareness that something was off, though you couldn't put words to it. The way conversations started feeling scripted, as if you were playing a role in a story you didn't write. The way daily routines, once comforting, now feel suffocating. That strange sense that you're inhabiting a life that no longer fits the size of your spirit. That's not a glitch. That's not a mistake. That's intelligence. It's your inner compass signaling that you've outgrown the skin you've been living in. That unease you've been labeling as boredom or frustration isn't a flaw. It's a signal. It's your system saying, it's time for an upgrade. But here's where most people stumble. Instead of listening to the signal, they try to smother it. They rearrange schedules, buy things they don't need, chase new habits, or even end relationships thinking that fixing the surface will quiet the storm inside. And for a little while it works, until it doesn't, because the call isn't coming from your circumstances. It's coming from deeper within. It's the quiet part of you that has always known you're capable of more than the safe version of yourself you've been living. That part has been patient, watching while you settled, while you tolerated, while you convinced yourself that being slightly better than yesterday was the same as living fully alive. But patience has its limits, and yours has run out. Look closely. The signs have been surrounding you. Your inner dialogue has shifted. You've gone from asking, "What should I do?" to, "What do I truly want?" From, "How can I fix this?" to, "What if I walked away?" From, "How do I make this work?" to, "Why am I forcing something that no longer belongs?" You've been noticing details you once ignored. How some people drain you without saying a word. How some activities that used to excite you now feel like chores. How dreams you buried long ago keep slipping back into your thoughts, no matter how many times you try to focus on practical things. This is not coincidence. This is awakening. Your tolerance for mediocrity has evaporated almost overnight. Conversations that once seemed normal now feel shallow. Routines that once gave comfort now feel like cages. Compromises that once felt reasonable now sting like betrayals to the deepest part of you. This isn't burnout. This isn't a midlife crisis, quarter-life crisis, or whatever label people throw around to avoid the truth. This is evolution. Your awareness has expanded, and the life you've built can no longer contain it. Something must break, and it won't be your growth. Notice what's resurfacing. Old passions you dismissed as childish, interests you abandoned because they weren't practical, dreams you were told to bury because they didn't make sense. They're all knocking again. You don't even have to search for them. They're surfacing on their own, like treasures washing up on shore after a long tide. Songs feel different. Places you once loved are calling you back. People from the past are reappearing without warning. The universe is curating a reminder reel of who you used to be before you bent yourself into shapes that pleased others. And instead of nostalgia, what you feel is activation. These aren't memories, they're previews. Not who you were, but who you're becoming. Even your decision-making has transformed. You used to overthink, analyze, and gather endless opinions before making a move. Now, choices are forming from something deeper, an unshakable knowing. Call it instinct, call it intuition, call it inner truth. Whatever name you give it, you've started trusting it more than external approval. You feel it in your body when something's right or when something's wrong, and that sensation is stronger than anyone else's logic. People around you see the difference. They see the way you stand taller, the way your words carry more weight, the way you no longer shrink to fit rooms that don't deserve your light. Some admire it, others feel threatened. But here's the thing, you've finally stopped letting their reactions dictate your direction. Because real transformation isn't about becoming someone new. It's about removing the masks and peeling back the layers until you reveal who you always were beneath the conditioning. But here's the part most people don't talk about. Rediscovering who you are means confronting how far you've drifted from that truth. That distance comes with a cost. Every moment you've bitten back your words when you wanted to speak. Every time you forced yourself into plans that drained you. Every time you faked enthusiasm for something that bored you to tears. That gap has been bleeding your energy dry for years. The exhaustion you thought was overwork or lack of sleep wasn't that at all. It was the cost of pretending. The energy it takes to uphold an identity that doesn't match your soul is immeasurable. You've been swimming upstream against yourself every single day. No wonder you've been tired. But here's the beauty, the current has shifted. For the first time in a long time, the flow is moving with you instead of against you. That's why everything feels so intense right now. You're not just changing paths, you're changing your operating system. The old rules no longer apply. The old coping strategies no longer work. You're shedding more than habits. You're shedding identities. Of course, people will notice. Some will celebrate. Others will resist. Family, friends, colleagues. Many of them were comfortable with the predictable version of you. The one who stayed quiet, stayed agreeable, stayed small. That version was safe for them. So don't be surprised when they try to pull you back, when they remind you of risks, when they list all the reasons not to change. Understand, they're not protecting you from failure. They're protecting themselves from the discomfort of seeing what's possible. Your growth is a mirror. Not everyone is ready to see what it reflects back, but the right people, the ones who belong in this next chapter, will feel relieved. They'll see the spark returning to your eyes. They'll encourage the leap because they know the bigger risk is staying the same. They'll recognize that your evolution doesn't just liberate you, it liberates everyone around you. Still, this stage can feel lonely, like you're the only one who understands why the old life can't continue. That loneliness isn't permanent. It's just the space between who you were and who you're becoming. The cocoon phase. And cocoons, by design, are dark and cramped. But that's where the transformation happens. Here's the wild truth about cocoons. The caterpillar doesn't know it's about to become a butterfly. It just knows something inside demands complete reorganization. So it dissolves, breaks down everything it thought it knew, and trusts the process until wings appear. That's where you are, dissolving. Letting the old life lose its shape so a new one can emerge. Chaos is part of it. Creation is messy. Birth is messy. Transformation is the messiest of all. That's why your sleep is strange. Your appetite is shifting. Your emotions swing from excitement to fear in a single day. One moment you're sure, the next you're questioning everything. That's not instability. That's growth in real time. Your nervous system is recalibrating. Your brain is wiring itself for new patterns. Your heart is learning to beat in a new rhythm. You're literally becoming a different person. Of course, it feels overwhelming. The key? Don't let fear make your decisions. Fear is old programming, a survival script trying to keep you in a cage you've already outgrown. Intuition feels different. It doesn't argue. It doesn't scream. It simply knows. And lately, you've been knowing things long before they make sense. That's not madness. That's guidance. That's your inner compass steering you into alignment. And look at the timing. Out of all the videos, out of all the moments, you're here, hearing this, right now. That isn't random. That's alignment. This is your signal that the dismantling isn't destruction. It's preparation. You're not breaking down. You're breaking open. You're not losing your life. You're trading the counterfeit version for the real one. You're not just shifting jobs or relationships or routines. You're shifting frequency. You're stepping into a self that operates from entirely new assumptions about what you deserve, what you're capable of, and what's possible for you. And when you complete this shift, everything external will rearrange to match it. The right people, the right opportunities, the right resources, they'll appear because your energy will draw them in. But first, you must allow the old self to dissolve completely. That's the only way the new one can take form. So here you are, at the end of this message, at the beginning of everything else. If you've listened this far, it's because something inside recognized the truth, not as information, but as confirmation. The restlessness wasn't random. The doubts weren't weakness. The discomfort wasn't failure. It was all preparation for this moment, when you stop asking, "Am I ready?" and start asking, "What will I do now?" You don't need another sign. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need universal approval. You just need trust. The trust that the part of you that brought you here already knows what comes next. The transformation isn't on its way. It's already happening, right now. The person who started this video isn't the one who's finishing it. That version is dissolving, making space for the one you're meant to become. Your real life, the one that feels aligned, alive, authentic, has been waiting. And today is the day you stop waiting for it. The butterfly doesn't ask the caterpillar for permission. It simply spreads its wings. And now, so will you.